You only get to do it once. Ready for classes? December.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We're going to get started here with our musical interlude. We have Mr. Schindler from C.J. Hooker and a whole lot of string players. So take it away, Mr. Schindler.
Okay, yes, so we have extracurricular club called Strings on the Loose, plus students from my advanced ensemble, the Chamber Orchestra, to supplement that. So we're going to start. Our first piece is called The Great Gate of Kiev, which was written by an amazing Russian composer back in 1874, part of a suite called Pictures at an Exhibition, and this is the last piece to that. And this is like a shortened version of that symphony. So remember to repeat. Thank you. We're going to fast forward a couple centuries now to a pop song that was made famous in 1986 by a kind of an unknown singer by the name of Whitney Houston. So this is called How Will I Know? I know you're a bit late. Oh, and this requires a little audience participation because we don't have our drummer with us tonight. So just like if we can get a little bit of just like for a little bit, okay, or a clap or whatever you want to do, right? Just for a little bit, okay? Here we go. One, maybe a little slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. selection actually needs no introductions. I'm going to play it. Nice and strong. Thanks.
That was fantastic. Thank you, students. Mr. Schindler, the force is definitely with you guys. That was amazing.
Thanks again. We're just going to take a couple of minutes here and let the students pack up before we. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Goshen Central School District being held on Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. in the Board of Education room. Please stand in pledge.
The flag of the United States of America, is the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you're just coming in, I just want to say another thank you to Mr. Schindler and all of our students at C.J. Hooker who gave us a really fantastic performance this evening. All right, so to get things started here, just a few points on my report. This is our last meeting of the regular school year. And as always, we really wish the best luck to all the students in our district and our community who are graduating and taking that next step, whether you're entering the workforce, joining the military, going to college, or figuring out what you want to do next. We sincerely wish you the best of luck. Even the student representative here will be leading us. Francesca, thank you for doing such a great job this year. Miss having you around, and while we're saying good luck to students, we have a little thank you for you. So just a little something for all the hard work you did. Thank you. Yes, and congratulations, students, and good luck moving forward with everything you're doing. Just two more quick updates. We are in contact with OCs. Our subcommittee who is working on the hiring has reached out to them to schedule some meetings to keep the ball rolling, like we've discussed in the past with our superintendent search. And lastly, don't forget to get out and vote tomorrow. We have our budget revote. Quick thank you again to Mr. Bon Jovi, Ms. Van Lammeren, and Dr. Carter for putting in a lot of work and to the board, 100 emails I think that went around the past couple of weeks. So please get out and vote tomorrow, everybody, and we hope to have great results. All right, so we're going to continue moving on here, and we'll turn it over to our student representative for the last time this school year, Francesca Zaccaro.
Hi everyone, thank you. So instead of a report tonight, I wanted to take this moment to say a few words about my years here. I made my best effort to be here tonight because it is also senior sunset, so I will be leaving early tonight, but I wanted to attend. This is my final Board of Ed meeting. And I wanted to make sure I was here to thank everyone and reflect on my time. So as many of you know, I'm a senior, so that I will be graduating this month. And this also means that after 2 years of serving in this role, tonight is my final meeting. I wanted to thank everyone on the board for your support, kindness, and your encouragement throughout my time here. When I first started, I was still learning the ropes, and I'm so grateful for how welcoming everyone was. I was honored to return for a second year, and I have learned so much from this experience. I'd also like to thank the district administrators for their support, especially Dr. Carter, who first interviewed me and trusted me with taking this position on, and also Ms. Farrell, who was always so kind and understanding and supportive, whether I was absent or had to be late or needed reasons for me always. This role has been incredibly rewarding, and one thing that I receive from everything and everyone is always made it more enjoyable. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work with all of you and learn from all of you. Thank you again for everything, and I'm excited to see what the future holds, and also wish the best of luck to the years ahead. Thank you.
A little round of applause for Fred. Get out of here. I know you have senior sunset, don't be ashamed, just get out.
Thank you.
It's been great having you, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
learned so much
Thank
from
you,
all of you.
Well, thank you, Francesca. I know there's only 9 days of school left, but there's a lot happening in those next 9
A
days,
lot happening,
especially
yes.
for the seniors, so enjoy it and have fun tonight.
Thank you.
You say your father every time.
I appreciate it. Bye.
Moving on, do we have any board member committee legislative or OXPA updates for
this evening? All right, very good. Then I'll turn it over to Mr. Bondovi for our interim superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Loftus. So again, there's so many fantastic things happening. Really, when they set the bar high, we have our two Odyssey of the Mind teams are joining us tonight. And we're gonna have a little presentation from them, I think a slideshow, and then we'll do a short presentation. So both these teams went to the Worlds. I'll talk a little bit more about them in a few moments, but I'll let the coaches, Coach Seligman and Coach Losi come on up and start the presentation.
Is that the clicker? Okay,
Oh, press the button on the mic.
do I have to? So, both of our teams are really successful. And here's a picture. It looks like a stock photo, but it's actually the Coliseum with 8,000 people in the Olympics. It's a laser light show. They have the opening and closing ceremony. There's a lot of high energy, and it was really nice. So Team Lossy, wait.
Sorry.
Regionals, they placed second. At states, they placed first, and world finals, fourth place out of 54 teams.
This goes.
There are all the members. Click. And their team is really special because I think it's the first time in Goshen history a team has stayed together without any members changing for 5 years in a row. And there they are when they were little, and there they are now. Wait, really? You ruined the moment. Go back. It's a little slow.
Want to watch the computer screen instead.
Oh. Okay, nice. Here they are on the world stage at Iowa with their amazing skit. And here are some of their amazing creations. They did mini sets. Those are their legs. I don't know, you want to say something about the legs?
So what we did at the beginning, when we first got the problem, I took them over to SUNY Orange for an art class. Lesson one to do that. And one of the things that he was working on in the show was his life story of immigrating to the United States. And he does these miniature sets or stop animation, and they got to see these miniature sets. And it kind of snowballed into this. We're always told, oh, you need the big sets. Well, this proves you don't need a big set. They're like a fish tank size. There's 5 different sets for 5 different scenes. It's puppetry. It's about a journey. So they have characters. They have a king, a queen, and 5 noble lords. And then the 2 legs goes on our main character, which is a John Givry character. The surprise in this story is it's his life journey of working at all these different places. But it turns out he actually worked at Burger King, Dairy Queen, 5 Guys, and then he takes a sub for Subway and ends up in the storm. You guys want to talk about it? No? Okay. At Cyclone, which they redo from AC/DC's Thunderstruck. It was a huge, like a full band set, acting and moving all these sets around. And the big reveal is all these sets turn in the back. It's the Cyclone roller coaster, which helps reveal his big tall tail. All of this is made out of trash, literally trash. The puppets are toilet paper tubes, spoons and clay, straws, packaging material. Oh, at the bottom, you can see part of the roller coaster, but it's 5 sets that line up. It was really amazing, and you could see that every kid had one part, and like that set was like their creativity, and seeing it come all together is really cool. Because everyone has like a different vision, but that's part of OM of trying to figure it out and working as a team to figure it out. Definitely. And nobody else did that. We were definitely mentioned a lot for the first ones. They've never seen puppetry before. Wrong one's clapping. It's the wrong one. Okay.
This was our team. We did the classic problem. We were second place at regionals, first place at states, and seventh place out of 61 teams at Worlds. And this was a newly put together team, so that was pretty incredible that we even went to Worlds. Yeah, and they were against a lot of international teams. This problem's pretty popular. And that's our team with the 2 high school coaches, Carly and Brooke. They were amazing. Okay, there on the left, that is the team before they were getting onto the stage. You could see our new members were very nervous. You could see it on their faces. And then we were lucky to have a Mexico buddy team. Buddy teams were very scarce this year because there weren't as many and everybody wanted one. But they got chosen and they had an amazing time. They exchanged numbers and it was really fun. They ate with them. And here, I just took a couple of their amazing creations that blew the judges away. They made a human heart. It was 3D. It was with cardboard and yarn. And everybody took, like, most of the members took a panel home, made it, then they made it into like a puzzle, 3D pop out. And on the bottom, they had to make a shield, and it was an eye amulet, 2 halves, and then the eye in the middle popped out. It's hard to tell. A really artistic team. So I just wanted to thank the district and building administrators, support staff in the district office, the Board of Education, the amazing custodial staff, and our amazing coaches and students, because everybody's support was unbelievable this year.
Don't go anywhere, we have this little presentation for you. When I think of Odyssey of the Mind, you see these amazing pictures. These are lifelong skills, imagination, teamwork, accepting a challenge. It's just, these are gonna be skills that you'll take with you for the rest of your life and put it all together. And Odyssey of the Mind. And I know this is, we have a great tradition of Odyssey of the Mind, and it looks like the future is bright for our teams, so thank you, everyone. I do want to, we have just a small token of our appreciation. First, Team Losi, coached by Rachel Losi. Okay, here, team members, Celia Ortega. Thank you. William Ortega. Gabe Byers. Betty Colado. Ayo Falami.
Oh, she's not here.
Okay. Penny Losi. And Jackson Thurtle. Okay, we have Team Seligman, coached by Coach Heidi Seligman. We have Assistant High School Volunteers, Assistant Coach Carly Seligman. Brooke Florio. Jordan Seligman. And Nathan Hulse. We have our team members, Nolan Arfston. Ara Falami. Gianna Core. Dean Losi. Leo Maniscalco. Luca Maniscalco. And Rose Santana. Also, I wanted to mention a high school senior Carly Seligman. She submitted a video about OM and was awarded the Creative Opportunities Visionary Scholarship. So thank you very much and congratulations. Carly plans on judging OM in the future. And again, special thanks to everyone who made this possible. Ms. Sindel, the custodial staff, and just want to give a shout out to Adam Van Ewen for all his help in making this possible. So thank you, congratulations, everyone. Hi, Mr. President, I'm gonna stay up here for my report. I kind of like this. It's the last meeting, we have a lot to celebrate. So I had the distinct pleasure of this past Saturday attending the Troop 63 Eagle Scout ceremony. And I said it to Mr. Castellane, literally, as part of the ceremony, when the students are officially getting pinned, so the parents give them the Eagle pin, and then that student then gives their parents a pin. I gotta tell you, I'm an old softie. I welled up 6 times. It was really a very nice ceremony. And I wanted to thank and congratulate those Eagle Scouts. So it was Liam Castellane, he did a kindness card. Dylan Twall worked with the Hudson Valley SPCA. Ethan Tetzlaff did a revitalization of the Slate Cemetery. Don Valerio did a project at Brayside Camp. Greg Schaefer did an improvement project at the Red Door Gift Shop. And Michael Pagliacco did a project at Museum Village in Monroe. It was an amazing day. It was a proud day for our community and our school district. So congratulations to those students and to their parents, guardians, and families on a job well done. As I said, we only have 9 days left, but a lot is packed in. I wanted to go over to some of the end of the year activities that have occurred really since our last board meeting. So we had the High School Festival of the Arts back on June 2nd. We had GIS Jazz Band and the 4 Chorus Concert on June 3rd. Then we had the GIS Grade 4 Band and Orchestra June 4th. We had our amazing Special Olympics, 10th anniversary Special Olympics. Again, a shout out and thanks to Dr. Heather Hendershot, Teresa Espinosa, and all really, literally, probably hundreds of volunteers who were there to make that day successful. We set the bar pretty hard for that next district. I forget who that was, but they're not going to be able to hit it like we did. We had the grade 2 moving up ceremonies was June 9th and 11th. Last week, we had the first ever GHS Cabaret on June 10th. We had the scholarship banquet was on the 11th. That was an amazing night. Thank you so much to Mr. Pantaleone, the faculty and staff of the high school, the buildings and grounds who made that possible, and certainly all the community groups, community members for their very generous donations, and congratulations to all those scholarship winners. Now we have, of course, tonight is Senior Sunset, so that's where Francesco went. That's another great event for the seniors. Tomorrow, the 16th, is the GHS Class Day for the seniors. And of course, as President Loftus mentioned, it is the budget revote. So in my video that'll come out tomorrow morning, I state, that we just had Flag Day on Sunday to celebrate America and commemoration back in 1777 from the Second Continental Congress of our American flag. And what more, there's no more American way to show your pride than to your right to vote. And make sure you get out and vote. That is tomorrow, it's right here, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. We have the Regents exams. We've had a couple of early exams, but that schedule really gets underway on the 17th. On the 17th, we also have the 5th grade moving up ceremony and the CT graduation. That is at West Point. UPK graduation on June 18th. Next week, we have the CJ Hooker moving up ceremony on the 24th. And of course, the culmination of it all, high school graduation, Friday, June 26th. So many great things still to come. Now, we had an amazing year. We truly did. It was a team effort of all the administration, all the faculty, all the staff, working in collaboration with the Board of Education. I wanted to go over some of the real highlights of this year and the things that we accomplished. So right when I started, well, guess what? You're not in the Main Street building. You gotta go to the high school because we were in an abatement situation here. So we completed an asbestos abatement here at the Main Street building. With the high school team, we very successfully implemented the bell-to-bell cell phone ban, and it really has been a home run. We established district goals with the Board of Education. We hired back and granted tenure to Mr. George St. Lawrence. He is a legendary athletic director, and we're so happy to have him back. We granted tenure to Mr. Pantaleone for high school principal. All year long, we've been working with our buildings and grounds committees on a future capital project. So that is still in the works, but some of the items that we've been talking about, the CJ Hooker tennis courts, more abatement, windows, heating, air conditioning, and certainly the future of this building. So that is still in progress. We completed CJ Hooker Controls project. Our fleet electrification plan has been completed and that's been submitted to NYSERDA for approval. We did a lot of professional development with Orange Ulster BOCES, more than we had in the past. So that's great working and partnering with them. I held monthly coffee with soup meetings that really morphed into myself meeting with other local leaders in the area and sharing ideas and our thoughts. We certainly have had increased reports from all of our superintendents. So Dr. Carter, Ms. Van Lammeren, more detailed reports. We've had monthly academic presentations and student recognition throughout the year. I've done weekly videos highlighting students and also giving a little life advice to our students. We completed our policy review and our policy book is now done. So that was a huge undertaking. Thanks to the board, that policy committee, but especially Mrs. Farrell for all her work on that. We completed a business office efficiency review study. We settled numerous legal cases and hopefully we don't have any more to come. As you recall, not too long ago, we handled a water main break here at the Main Street building. Again, thank you to the incredible job of our buildings and grounds staff, Mr. McGarvey and all his staff, because really they helped keep that under wraps, that it didn't really cost us too much money. We worked collaboratively all year with GAA, GTA, CSEA, and the non-aligned personnel on just keeping the district moving forward. I attended monthly meetings at the Goshen Senior Center, so thank you very much to them for having me. We've chosen a new math textbook for the K-6 program. That's been a long time coming. We've invested heavily in portrait of the graduate trainings. We've implemented MTSS action plans for each building, and that will come out in the coming year in September. We'll talk a little bit more also about an expanded UPK program. We also joined something called Ed Data Bidding, which will save us a lot of money on our bidding process and purchases. And if you've been up to the high school, we've already started today. We started the work on the tennis courts. So the high school tennis courts are being completely redone. The fencing is being taken down. We're actually going to be reusing the fencing in other places. So it's not going to be thrown out. It's going to get used again. And those tennis courts will be ready for the fall season. And again, I wanted to, on behalf of the entire Board of Education, to say it again, thank you to Francesca. I mean, to, you're giving up these nights, you're preparing these reports. She certainly has a very bright future ahead of her. So thank you again to the Board of Education for a great year, and I look forward to many more great days here in Goshen.
All right,
That ends my report.
thank you, Mr. Bon Jovi. So now moving on to our Assistant Superintendent for Business Report, Ms. Lorraine Van Houten.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson. Hang on. Our external auditors were here in the beginning of June for a few days to do their beginning field work in our office and interview staff. There were no findings at this time yet, but they will return in August to complete their field work in the beginning of the month and issue their report in October at the board meeting in October. Since this is the 5th year of their agreement, we do have to go out with an RFP in accordance with the comptroller's 5-point plan. So I will issue an RFP probably at the end of October or the beginning of November, so we can start interviewing firms who respond and have them on board by January to audit the 26-27 school year. EFMLA, we are transitioning on July 1 to an electronic process for the Family Medical Leave Act paperwork. And there is a lot of paperwork involved with this process when employees request time off. It will be electronic and it will streamline a lot of the paperwork, cut down on administrative time, shuffling the paperwork, reduce paperwork, and improve efficiency for the HR department. We checked the platform out through the ASBO International. There was a lot of good feedback on this program, so I'm looking forward to giving it a try. And our construction manager RFP was distributed to 10 qualified firms. However, we only received 1 response from 1 firm. And because of that, we are going to have our next steps will be to discuss whether or not to turn down the RFP and open it up again so that we can get more competition from other firms, hopefully responding. And I did have a legal update. I spoke with Dan Pettigrew from TDWP Law Firm regarding a couple of items. The first one is the library agreement that we were talking with them about repaying. There was about $133,000 in tax surcharges we have paid on their behalf this year, as well as 2 from last year. And they would like to repay us over a term of 2 years rather than 1 year and spread that out, which is understandable because for their budget, that is a large amount of money. So if you're in agreement, I will let the attorney know if we can move forward with that because they would like to start repayment June 30th. If we can't get it approved until the reorg meeting, then they would certainly start right after that. And then we also discussed the Glen Arden pilot repayment that has come up again. There may be a closing. We're hopeful that there will be a closing September 1st. And the town, village, and the school and the county also are part of this agreement in order for them to move forward with the closing. So we will have a proposal for you to also talk about moving forward. And that was a pilot, that amount was $1.1 million, not including interest and penalties, which we will not be able to collect as part of the agreement. And that repayment would be over a course of 2 years. So that would be very beneficial for the district. And then last but not least is our financial information. The expenses in the month of May were $7.4 million. And our revenues, we did receive a large amount of general aid, $6.25 million, and that was the last of our general aid payment for the year. Our interest earnings were $104,000. And the total expenses through the end of May were $81.9 million, or 85% of our total budget, which is in line with where we were at the same time last year. And we've also earned $91.6 million through May, or 98.8%. So we're almost there for our earnings and revenue. And again, that is in line also where we were last year at this time. I always like to compare the 2 years to make sure there's nothing off. And so far, so good this year. It's been right in line. And that's all I have for this week.
Great, thank you. And you mentioned, just if I can ask a question here, that you just need an agreement from us. If it's a 2-year payment versus 1, And if we have it before the reorg, we can start collecting.
Yes,
Do we need a resolution or can we just verbally agree right now?
we would need a resolution.
We need- okay.
Yes, yes. So it's all right, I know. And I just got this information, otherwise I
Okay.
could have.
All in favor?
Sooner, but.
Let's get the money. Just- We'll get the resolution. The
Yes.
reorg meeting, we'll have it.
Yes,
All right,
and
perfect.
moving forward, just so you know, with any tax surcharges after this time, we will bill them in accordance with the reimbursement and they will just cut us a check back, so we're just getting caught up with the. It's mostly because of the Galleria, that large amount is really what spurred this on, so.
Great, thank you for the clarification on that. All right, next we have our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction Personnel and Technology Report. Jason Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. Good evening, everyone. So as you're aware, we did develop a textbook search committee looking for a new math textbook series in grades kindergarten through 6. We've had the opportunity to wrap up those meetings after reviewing 5 programs. And all 3 of our buildings, Scotchtown, GIS, and CJ Hooker, have chosen to go with Eureka Math Squared from Great Minds. So I believe this is a great program. They liked it enough to actually bypass a second sales pitch, if you will, or an in-depth tour of the program because they felt that they had enough information. And I certainly support that decision as well. The program is fully aligned with our next gen math standards. And I believe that it leaves room now for us to move into 7th and 8th grade with the same program, which allows us to have a great continuum. And so I'm working with Haley Kibbe from Great Minds right now to put together essentially purchase orders and quotes so that if we move to that point with board approval, we can encumber the funds in preparation for our purchase and start to deliver our teacher materials in the summer months to allow for them to be better prepared. The good news here is that there is an extensive amount of professional development that is a part of the initial quote. Much like what we had gone through with Scholastic, because as we know, that is most certainly imperative for great implementation and preparation, not just for 1 year, but probably for more than one, and we will continue to work through that if in fact we get this program approved. And so I think it's an exciting time to move into a quite comprehensive and rigorous program that's fully aligned with standard and should help our students K-6 be better prepared essentially for rigors of mathematics in New York State and also the state assessments that are very important to us. So we will keep you informed by providing you with all the information from the textbook provider, most likely at our next meeting, hopefully seeking approval to move forward with that purchase. Also just want to mention that we are still going to have somewhat of a virtual introduction, much like a drive-through, so that our rep can become familiar with our committee members. That information can be shared with all of the team members. And so if we do move forward, they'll have everything to share with their team leaders and other members of those teams. Our MTSS update, we did have Judy Riley in district last Thursday and Friday, and these were great work sessions over a 2-day period with each of the building level teams to develop the actual action plans for implementation in the 26-27 school year. And so each of our plans at each of the buildings, of course, a standardized plan with great foundations, but each of the buildings has 2 or 3 individualized goals that they wish to focus on as a part of these action plans. And so with that, we've identified those that will be responsible for each portion of the plan. We've identified the resources that will be needed for implementation. We've identified potential barriers, and we've also listed desired outcomes with implementing this plan. And so I feel really good about where we're at from a K-12 perspective, knowing that we'll have standardized assessments, benchmarking, universal screening. We'll have a standardized plan in place so that all of our team members, regardless of grade level, will understand common language, common procedures, and so on and so forth. And so I think this work with Ed Elements has been very beneficial. Judy Riley, although she's finished honoring the contract, she is going to meet with one of our high school counselors to further solidify their plan. And I believe that she will also meet with 1 or 2 of our administrators who have additional questions to tidy that up during the summer months where we have some more time. And then I've invited her, and she has agreed to run a virtual session for our entire administrative team in preparation for implementation in September. So again, we feel really good about where we're at with that plan, and look forward to standard implementation K-12. So as you know, we finally have that recently passed and enacted budget here in New York State. And with that, we know that there's massive impact regarding UPK throughout the state, most certainly here in Goshen. And so although we anticipated and didn't know for sure, it is now solidified that we will receive $10,000 per pupil. And so our UPK program, focusing on 4-year-olds in a full day program, we will now receive the $10,000 per pupil to expand that program. And so if you recall, we do have 54 students that were placed at Scotchtown Avenue through the lottery system. And that actually left us with 17 students on the wait list. And throughout that time, while offering spots through the lottery, we did have 9 individuals that declined the offer of UPK, which then led to 8 remaining. And so with this opportunity to expand, we can in fact work with On My Way Learning because they did give us an RFP, if you recall, during that initial time period. And so we will have the funding to expand, but it will be at her site in Middletown if we approve the contract. And so with that, we can immediately reach out to all of those that remain on the wait list, which is 8. We can then reach out to the 9 that declined so that everyone who initially applied has the opportunity to accept or decline once again. And then we will advertise for a new enrollment for anyone who's interested in being a part of the expansion, with the understanding that it will not be in district, but rather working with the same provider at their location in Middletown. Once we get that situated, of course, it'll be by number. We will once again run a lottery system using our bingo balls. And then we'll reach out to places as many as we can. As it stands today, it appears that we will have an additional 48 seats immediately available. And so what we have happening right now is that with this recent expansion of the grant, many school districts are starting to take in more students, which means that local providers are losing those that were actually privately paying for service and returning to their district programs. And so spots are opening, although I can't necessarily predict any number. It is very possible that the 48 could expand to 54, it could expand to 64. I don't necessarily know what that number would be, but the potential for expansion is there. So we will go and put that out, take the applications, see what that number looks like, and we'll report back as soon as we can with that information. So again, an exciting time to expand our program. It's everything that we had hoped for when we first heard the rumor of potential $10,000 per pupil. Here it is. So again, we'll keep you well informed throughout the process. And so as we move into the later dates of June and into July, we begin the consolidated application process for all of our grant funded Title I, Title II, Title III, Title IV programs. And so it is a large process. We just started last week at the very end of the week, sending out all of our intent to participate letters to all of those private providers that are in district and all of those outside of the geographic catchment zone that may have Goshen residents attending. So we sent out 36 letters and we are currently awaiting their response. We put a second week in July deadline there. And so what that does is, essentially tells us who has students in Goshen. They have to prove that they have Goshen residents attending. And then from there, we talk about what programs they're eligible for. Any of the programs outside of the geographic catchment are only eligible for Title I based on the number of Goshen residents attending. Whereas if you recall from the past, St. John's and Burke, they are eligible for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we will get that information, keep you in the loop the whole way through. Once we get the letters of intent solidified, we'll start to meet with those district leaders to talk about proposed expenditures within the allowable expenditures for each title. And then we'll also have our stakeholder committee, which is, it's our time to actually collaborate with community members and other stakeholders and talk about how we propose to spend our monies. So when those allocations come out, we'll inform you of those as well and keep you well informed throughout this process. So if you had any chance today to see any of state news regarding NYSED and the Board of Regents, there was actually a press release speaking about the next phase of New York Inspires. And so when we think of New York Inspires, it goes hand in hand with everything that we've been talking about with Portrait of a Graduate. And so the state let everyone know today and solidified that we will be moving toward a competency-based program. And so when it comes to earning high school diploma, it will no longer be time served in the seat and credits earned, but we're now moving toward everything we had anticipated, which is competency-based. And so when you think of competency-based, you think of those capstone projects, you think of rubric-based assessments, you think of projects that require collaboration, critical thinking, all the competencies of Portrait of a Graduate that we've covered in the past. And so we know for sure that this new diploma framework will be handed down, but what we also know is that it's going to be a phased-in approach, and we don't actually have that timeline yet. And so we'll keep our eyes open, looking for that information, and we anticipate that what they'll do is they, meaning the Board of Regents collectively with the Education Department, will wind up getting standardized rubrics, probably by grade level, fully aligned with standards. We'll start to look at standardized assessments and other measures of competency that align with Portrait of a Graduate. And so just to provide some clarity, because we've done a lot of reporting and we've done a lot of work collectively in district with Portrait of a Graduate. When you think of New York Inspires, you think of it from a state level and the actual state vision of what New York graduates, New York learners will become with these new competencies. And so New York State vision is here under New York Inspires, and everything that we've been working for with Portrait of a Graduate is really the localized measures that we develop within those competencies that are labeled that jive with New York Inspires. So you've got the state guidance, and then Portrait of a Graduate allows us to design locally everything that we want to design within the competencies to essentially assess our students and their preparedness for graduation and beyond. And so we will continue as we have, attending as many professional developments as we can. We'll continue to collaborate building by building. I know we've got some great plans for next school year with our half-day release time to allow for vertical articulation and collaboration throughout the district, not just within a building. I do think that will be very helpful as we continue to plan our assessments and continue to plan our curriculum, scope and sequence documents, and so on and so forth. So exciting times. We're really pleased with it, and we'll work hard at it. I think it's going to be great. And finally, I just want to mention on June 11th, the Orange County Human Rights Commission presented the 27th Annual Human Rights Awards. And Goshen's Lynn Abrams was actually one of just a few honorees there. She's been with us for over 20 years. She's a very large part of the high school. She really gets involved in just about everything by way of mental health, by way of advocacy for students. You name it, she's working very hard. And so we're very proud of her. Just to highlight a few things, if you recall, I had reported that she actually attended and brought some students to the Love Shouldn't Hurt Symposium. She's been a part of the teen mental health and first aid, some professional development that we've sent her for repeatedly. Erica's Lighthouse, focusing on teen depression awareness. She took a large part in Mr. Pantaleon's initiative of NABIT and CARE. And also she has a large part each and every year in Red Ribbon Kickoff Week here in district. So she's a very valuable member of our faculty. We're very proud of her and everything that she does here. I just wanted to offer her a large congratulations here in our public session. And that will conclude my report this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Parker. Okay, before we dive into our consent agenda here, we'll turn it over to Mr. Bonjoli for a quick note.
Absolutely. I believe we have a new hire here tonight. So if you don't mind coming to the microphone and just state your name and what your title is going to be in building.
Good evening, my name is Christina Ianello and my new title is Special Education Teacher at the high school. I'm truly very grateful for this opportunity, so I wanted to say thank you to the board and to the administration. I'm very excited and very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, and congratulations.
All right, little advanced congratulations before it's in the consent agenda. All right, moving on, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda. John and Brett. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the interim superintendent of schools, the Board of Education accepts the retirement of Vicki Cohen, teacher aide, effective June 30th, 2026. Ms. Cohen has been with the district for 3 years. Be it further resolved upon the recommendations of the interim superintendent of schools, the Board of Education accepts the retirement of Jacqueline Acosta, teacher aide, effective August 31st, 2026. Ms. Acosta has been with the district for 6 years. Be it further resolved, the Board of Education approves the remainder of the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor? Aye. Official, congratulations. Need a motion to approve the new business. We have Shannon and Billy. Be resolved upon the recommendation of the interim superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the new business items as presented. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, moving on to privilege of the floor, we have one sign up here, Lara Morrison.
Shy. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to take a brief moment and I wanted to thank Joe Betro and his staff at Otter Kill. As you all are aware, on Friday it was the 8th grade dance, and on Thursday, the Booster Club was notified by administration that it was going to possibly be canceled or the location changed due to the heat. I received a text message from one of the moms on the Booster Club asking if I knew anybody or if I could assist, and within 8 minutes of me texting Mr. Betro, he had offered his space at the Otter Kill free of charge for the 8th graders to have their dance. I wanted to publicly thank him. We've thanked him a lot, but he offered his staff, his building, Erin Pasquale, her expertise in decorating, all of it for absolutely free to ensure that our students had the opportunity to have their 8th grade dance. With an 8th grader here, she can tell you that they had an amazing time. And we just wanted to come and thank the board, the superintendent, the administration at the middle school, and all of the staff who was there, all the volunteers who made the experience of a lifetime for these 8th graders that didn't have to have it at the gym, hot and sweaty. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
When I had reached out to Mr. Vetro to thank him, he had said, "You're quite welcome. It's all about the kids, making sure they get the experience that they are supposed to. We'll make it great for them." And he did. So thanks, Joe.
All right, thank you. All right. Any board member comments, open agenda items that anybody would like to discuss this evening?
So I just want to make a couple of comments, especially with tomorrow kind of coming up with the reload. So kind of hearing that, I have an 8th grader, she came home feeling like a princess. You know, anytime, you know, made me think about the community that we have here and how it goes just beyond the school, right? Mr. Vetro giving up last minute, his space. You know, when I was at the Eagle ceremony and Ms. Bon Jovi did a great job kind of, you know, recapping the year. We had a lot of great accomplishments. But I can tell you, again, my son, yeah, he was there for an Eagle project, and without Mr. Fedor, Mr. Pantaleone, I'm not sure he would have been there. And, you know, over the winter break, he's back and forth communicating with Mr. Fedor. Hey, Mr. Fedor's meeting him at 7 a.m. First one in, one day it was even snowing out. I'm like, hey, are we meeting today? He made that happen, right? So just to kind of think about how so many of our teachers and our staff go above and beyond. And what a lot of people might not see. I can see it on a low level, like everyone knows I have 5 kids, so I see it a lot. But you don't really always know what's kind of going on with all the teachers and everyone out there. So I really do have to just thank Goshen as a whole, the community, the school, really kind of putting in that extra effort. And tomorrow, like, I know I'm going to keep that in mind, right? So, thank you.
Yeah, well said, thank you. Any other comments, open agenda items, anything else? Alright, very good, so we need a motion for executive session. John and Brett. Be it resolved, the Board of Education will enter into executive session with the intent not to reconvene the business portion of the meeting for discussions related to the employment history of a particular person. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you and have a great night, everyone.